Hello, everybody. This is Mr. Wonderful, and welcome back to my channel. So, today we are going to talk about the BCU and power management. I received a request uh, and I was asked to do a video about BCU and power management. Now, I only can tell you guys what I experience and what I know for the short time that I play the game. There's probably a whole bunch of you guys out there that might have a better idea about power management than what I have. But I will tell you guys from my experience and from what I have seen. So we're going to start off with the BCU. Now this is this little guy here. Now the BCU stands for Base Command Unit. Now once you've crafted the BCU and you place the BCU on the wall like this, it will give a signal to show where you are, where the base is. It will constantly give you the location of, where the base is on the map. You can actually turn this feature off if you don't want that. Another thing that if you've got hunters enabled, then once the BCU is placed, we will start see that the hunters will soon start building their bases uh, around us. Now the BCU is also the thing that has the biggest hit points, and therefore it makes it the strongest object in the game. So it's not easy to destroy a BCU. Now the BCU has got two zones. Now the one zone is when you place the BCU, and we've seen it in earlier videos where, for instance, when we want to place these one of these generators somewhere in the corner here, we could not place the BCU there. Sorry, the generator there, because there was a blue line running somewhere around here. Now that blue line is the edge of the coverage of the BCU. And then there's another zone that people can't see, and you can't see it either. But that range is further out, and it stops anybody else from building close to your base, which means that there would be some kind of a zone where I would call it a no man's land, where nobody can build between two bases because of that second zone of the BCU. Now, only the inner zone, as we call it, the inside zone, is what we can see, and obviously, as I said, the outside zone we cannot see. Now, the BCU also generates roughly about 0.33 electricity or power and 0.07 mass per second without any generators, to a maximum of, for power, of 500, and for mass it goes up to a maximum of 100. Now To get extra power and extra mass, you need these two guys, the power supply units, not the power supply units, the power storage units, and the mass storage units. Now, to fill these things up, you will have to have either your generators, because as soon as the BCU and the base power gets to 500, the BCU stop producing any power. So the BCU won't fill up the power storage units. It also won't fill up the mass storage units. And it's for that reason why you would need generators to fill the power supply units up. If you don't have or power supply generators, then you can also have like your um, solar panels, like we have two here. Now the solar panels, as soon as the solar panels produces enough power for the stuff in the base to run, it will start to fill up the power supply, power storage units as well. Now let's just have a look. As you guys can see here, we are sitting on 526 and it's keep on going up. And the reason why it's going up is because of the two solar panels that we have. And those 27 um, extra power, that's actually what's stored inside these power storage units. And the same goes for the mass. Now the mass won't go up at this moment. The mass will still just go up to 100 and it will stop. So there's two things that will push the mass up to a maximum of what these two guys can store. And I think we have it, so we can store 300 mass. The base itself can store 100, and each of these two units can store 100 each. So in order for us to up the mass, we can use the recycler, which is this guy here, or we can use a mass fabricator, which uses power to generate mass. Now, talking about the recycler, now I have checked a couple of things, mass versus the amount of items versus the power that you use. So when you use logs, it's one log or one ore type, it doesn't matter what ore type it is, or one cloth. Those things all only produces one mass and it uses two power. Then we go to the same thing with one fiber, one nail only gives you 0.5 mass and it uses one power. Then we go to one scrap metal and rotten meat. They give 2 mass, and obviously because they give 2 mass, they use 4 power. And then one protein bar produces 3 mass and it uses 6 power. The pickaxe is the thing that produces, up from what I can see, 6 mass, but it also uses 12 power. So, and that is for that reason why I don't use the pickaxes till it completely breaks down. That's why I put these pickaxes that's really close to being destroyed. I put them away because we're going to use those pickaxes actually to produce some mass for us. Now, also another thing to keep in mind is at some point we thought that because the BCU kept on staying on 500, that at the time we only had the one solar panel. And we thought that that solar panel actually is keeping the power and give this thing enough power so that the power don't drop. In fact, that was not the case. The power that the fridge use is more than what the power, the 0.33 power that the BCU generates per second. The difference between what the BCU delivers minus what the fridge use, that 0.2 or whatever the case was, that still use base power. And it is for that reason at the time when we looked at it, we saw that the thing hovers between 499 and 500. So every single time when the power goes under 500, that's when the, oh, sorry for that. That's when the BCU power actually, when the BCU start to generate power. So I'm just going to make more light here. So, and that's for that reason why I thought, no, that's fine. We can, we are all good. And, but I noticed then at some point, but I would have thought that the power storage units will get filled up by the solar panel, which was not the case. It's because the solar panel couldn't produce enough power for the fridge to run, and it's for that reason why it just didn't have enough. Now that we have two of the solar panels and we upgraded both of them, I think this will be in a video later on that you guys will see. It is in a video where we actually upgraded both of these guys. So I might have just let the cat out of the bag, but and it is for that reason why we've got two now, that we can actually start seeing that the solar panels actually start filling up the power supply units. So when it comes to crafting and managing that power, now I prefer crafting really during the day, which some people might think it's better to do it at night. The reason why I do it during the day is because during the day we can regenerate power quicker without the generators, because we've got the two solar panels. And even with the two solar panels, we can use the generators in combination with that, which will bring the power up quicker, which means that we might just use less biofuel, because the generators don't have to run for such a long time. Whereas if you do it at night, and you need power quickly, you have to run the generators for all the time, because the solar panels, obviously being at night, just doesn't produce way enough power for the power to pick up very quickly. Then we solely have to rely on the speed of 0.33 power per second, of which the BCUs regenerate. So for that reason is why I choose to rather craft during the daytime. Yeah, and yeah, so some people, as I say, and then also when it comes to mass. Now, another thing that we need to keep in mind, there are some stuff that one can craft that doesn't use any power whatsoever. Now, these are the things that when you press tab, that you just see straight off on the weapons, and here and here and here, here and here. Now, these things, crafting these things doesn't cost any power or any mass. But as soon, sorry, let me just have a look here before we run out of, oh, right. So, but as soon as you go to these type of things, the BCU itself, each and every single item here, when you craft these things, it, it requires power and it requires mass. So as soon as you craft those things, it uses that amount of power and that amount of mass. And when you want to craft the next thing, we will have to wait for the power and the mass to regenerate to whatever this one requires to be crafted. Now, what I try to do is when I need to craft something, I would craft something, and then if I are under the amount of mass that I need for that specific item, I would only go and generate enough mass to satisfy me crafting that specific item. And the same goes for the power. I would only let the generators run for that amount of time until I've got enough power to craft the item that I want to craft. So it's not only on this one. If we go to the normal workbench and we want to craft here, even these things, uh, some of these things like this one, uh, not all these things requires power. This one, as you can see, gunpowder, no power. But as soon as we start looking at the casings, we need power, we need mass. The same with the nails, and the same with the sheets, and all the other things. As you can see, they all requires power and mass. Even these, the guns, uh, and these um, bow and arrows, they all requires uh, power and mass. And obviously the same with these things. They also requires, every single one of these things requires power and mass. And this, as soon as you this thing is on, it doesn't use any power. If it's switched on, it'll only start using power as soon as you put something there for it to start refining, and then you can see it start to use power. But as soon as you take it away, it switches off and it doesn't use any power. Now, now, now we can't really test the stove. You guys must watch that video about the stove. I'm not going to say more about the stove for now. That might just be, yeah, you guys must watch the video. So, and the same goes with the fridge. When the fridge is turned on, you guys can see there, it uses minus 11, which is quite good. Right, so yeah, and I think this is about what I can say and tell you guys about the power and how I try to manage the power. I do not really like to use the generators that much if I can help for it. Um, and it's for that reason why I try to craft my things during the day when there's sunshine, so that I don't have to wait that long, because at least during the day, um, when I do craft something and I need to wait for power to regenerate, then at least we can go out to the world out there, and we can start running around, and we can start collecting resources while we are waiting for the power and for the mass to get to the point where we can craft the next thing. So I'm hungry. That's why I took this. Another crate. This is a crate or a bag. Now this is, oh man, okay. Ah, now yeah, how lucky can we be? And I don't believe we have enough. Yeah, that's a sink. That, what's that? That's, oh, there we go. So we need 18 of this. While we are outside, we need, and then we need, oh, I don't have that. We need, let's quickly do that. I don't even have here, so um, let's craft 2 of these things, and we need 4 of these. Too much. Right, and while we wait, we can quickly put that in here. Let's just wait for that plank to craft finish, then we can quickly craft the lockpick and go see what that crate has got for us. Right, as you guys, we spoke about that. You can see it requires 500 power and it requires 75 mass. And yeah, when we use that, we can see now there's not enough power and there's not enough mass to do the next one. Yeah, and that is for that reason why I like to do these things during the day, because as you guys can see, we are getting an 0.47 power and we only put out minus 0.12 and the power is starting to, oh, doesn't forget our food in here. It's just, we can probably quickly go collect that crate. Where is that crate? Right here, here at our doorstep. Let's see what we get. Well, we got half of the uh, iron fragments back of what we used. Nice. We just made it in time. Right. And you guys might also notice that I gained already 3 points on my health and 2 points on my stamina. So we are definitely working on getting us better and stronger. I really try to protect that numbers now and try not to die. We still live on the edge. We still will try to live on the edge, but we will be more careful and not really take too much chances. Otherwise, yeah, I don't. We don't want to lose those numbers because it just makes us so much better. And yeah, the other thing that I'm thinking of is, and something that we really need to think about very, very strongly, is to get our diving bottles and our sort of diving base, whatever the case might be, and start building that, because we really need some good weapons and some other things, and upgrading of some of the stuff that we already have, including we can't do a second upgrade for the solar panels because it requires some materials. We need to grab some wood. It requires some materials of which we can only find in the caves. And to get to the caves, we need to dive. And for us to dive, we need the diving station. And also, what we also need is we need to get up to the eagle nests because we need those feathers. So it's a vicious kind of circle that we need to complete to get what we want. So if we want to get up to the eagle's nests, we need rock climbing pegs. But for all of us to make those things, we again, there's materials that it requires that we would only get down in the caves. So we definitely need to go down to the caves rather sooner than later so that we can start crafting, for instance, the bow, the bow that we require, and then also the arrows that go with that bow. Um, requires the feathers that you only get in the eagle's nest. So yeah, it is kind of very important, or yeah, very important for us to start thinking about going down to uh, dive. This crate just spawned right in front of us. Man, game, you can give more of these. I wouldn't complain about that. Yeah, so we definitely need to do that. But the thing that's missing is we need a lot of obsidian. Now I'll show you guys now. I already made enough walls and foundations and ceilings. My idea is to build, I would call it obsidian base, where we will put down a stove. It's a full base with a stove with 2 storage crates, um, right almost in the center of where we can find obsidian. Now, let me just show you guys where now, and obviously where the obsidian is high. Now, I believe this is, as you guys can see here to the right on this side here. You can see obsidian is very high, and then we got right next to this lithium low. I looked all over the map, and I've seen some maps that's completely open. It seems like there's no place on the map where you can actually find lithium that's high. So lithium looks like it's a very, very hard component to get, but my idea is to put down a base here in this dark area here, right in almost the center of where the obsidian is high, and then we only have to cover this area, uh, getting obsidian, and we can then fill the crate up here, uh, the storage crate with obsidian, and when the storage crate is full, or we have quite a lot of obsidian, then we can start transporting the obsidian back to the main base, where we can then uh, start refining the obsidian. Now, I believe that even on this side obsidian is high. I just need to figure out where most of the nodes spawn normally, and we can potentially also put down another base somewhere in the middle here, where the obsidian is uh, very high. It just helps us that we don't have to run all the way from the base here every single day, that distance to get obsidian, and then just to come back uh, with, yeah. Um, Whereas if we've got bases right where the obsidian is high, then we can get that obsidian as soon as they spawn or respawn, and we can put it in the storage crates there, and we can overnight there until we've got heaps of obsidian, and yeah, as I said, then we can come back this way. We don't really have to worry about silicon, because as I call it, this area here, you guys can see silicon is moderate down here, so I don't think I have seen a place or on the map that I might be mistaken where obsidian is actually high. But yeah, I call this area Silicon Valley. Yeah, so we can pick up quite good silicon in this area. So we are not too far away from silicon. Yeah, obviously all the other stuff, copper and zinc and potassium, that's just things that that's readily available almost everywhere on the map. So we're not really concerned about those. We are more concerned about these new materials, the obsidian, uh, the um, the lithium. Now, let's sometimes, now this is interesting. Sometimes when I see this, now it happens from time to time that there's sitting a note somewhere here, and then there's another note there when I'm far away. But as soon as I harvested the first one, the second one disappears, and then I then I don't see the second one. And that one I've tried so many times to try and get hold of that one, and there is, I don't know if it's just me, but I just cannot get to that one at all. Yeah, nah, I can't get to that one. So yeah, so this is the plan that I have. So, and I already have all the materials. This video was more just around um, talking about the BCU and how I do my power management. Um, so in our next episode, I must actually put these things away uh, while we're here. So we've got, and I was thinking of crafting a gun. Uh, Now, I wasn't sure if I should craft a a shotgun or if I should craft the rifle, the lever action rifle. I think it's what it is. Um, I think the shotgun requires something in the region of 2100. Yeah, 2000. Yeah, the rifle, the lever action rifle requires 2100 uh, power. That's more than what we currently can store, which means if we want to do the rifle, we would need to craft another one of these. And then, yeah, then we will have to wait either a long way for these things to fill up, or we have to run the generators to fill that up. We do have enough things to store mass, so it won't require, it does require that mass, but we have enough storage units for the mass. So yeah, so I was thinking of doing that also, because the other thing is, I think it's pretty, I mean, I think we're in August already, so it's not too far away that December and November and January, that's all winter. And yeah, we need to get to a point that we are protected and well equipped for winter. Um, so we need to make sure that we at least get an area completely sealed off, so that when winter hits, that we would be in a good shape and that we don't freeze ourselves to death even inside the base. So we can extract seeds here, and we can extract 3 more. Right. And then let me just see if we need the cotton also. If we just do cotton, we don't. Yeah, here we have. So we've got 4 cotton also, so we can put back here that we only need 4 of these. And then we can plant this. I didn't look now to see how the water and the so that's fine. While we have that, we might as well pull that up, and we can do all that, and it'll put it in here, and there we go, and that's fine. So that is the plan. Oh, I was about to show you guys that we already have the things that we require for. So uh, here's the things that we require for that little 4x4 base. We need the 4 walls. Obviously, we're gonna have a door maybe on each side, a roof, and then the foundation with a stove, the BCU, and then the 2 storage crates. So we're gonna in our next episode we're gonna go and we're gonna bolt set that excuse me, set that base up, and we will start running around and see if we can get as much obsidian as we can get. And then also, since as I said, we are close to we are thirsty and now we don't have water, and then also try to get ourselves quite a bit of lithium as well. So that's our plan for the next few episodes, because we really need to start thinking of getting that diving station, because there are such a lot of things that we need to craft now, that we need things from down in the caves. Now the caves, I've personally haven't been down the caves ever. So when we go down to the caves the first time, that would be the first time for me. I only watched some other guys on their videos doing the caves, so that's the only thing that I know about the caves. So we will again experience the caves together for the first time, and yeah, we will just would have to try and stay safe and survive, and just make sure that we are well protected, that we've got enough ammo, that we've got enough healing things so that we can at least heal ourselves, because down in the caves there's also hunters, and then there's those bats, and it seems like those bats are it seems like they are not the friendliest lot around. So yeah, we have to go down well prepared for them. So yeah, as I said, that is what we need to do. This is what is in the pipeline for us, and that is why we do what we do. We need to do that. Otherwise, yeah, we're just not gonna be able to grow much. We're not gonna be able to. And it's no, this doesn't belong here. It actually belongs in here. So yeah, as I said, we definitely need those things rather sooner than later, because it will just make life so much easier for us if we can do that. So guys, for now, this is all for this video. I don't believe that it would be part of the series of which we are busy recording at the moment. This is just a standalone video to try and explain my take on the BCU and my take on how I manage my power Now, if there's anybody out there, and I believe there's heaps of you guys that's got better power management skills or better tips for me to even do better with the power management, yeah, please feel free and leave in the comments some hints or some suggestions for me so that I can put those suggestions to the test. I really hope you guys like this video. You can smash that like button, subscribe, and share with your friends. See you next time.